Hey everybody, this is Final Flame Productions here again with another opinion video. This time I'm going to be talking about wrestling. And I watched the Double or Nothing show by AEW, the new wrestling company. It's been getting a lot of attention recently. And the show was on this night. It was a pretty big show. It was around 4 hours or so, or about that. And I'm just going to give my thoughts on whether they need to change anything, what they did right, what they could maybe improve and change going forward to compete and to really grow as a company, which, considering last night, it was a hell of a show. You had the full stadium, great production values, big roster full of up-and-coming, fairly unknown wrestlers to the casual viewer. You had some legends mixed in through it to win over people like me who don't watch that much wrestling nowadays, but used to back in the Monday Night War days. And including the pre-show and the main show, you had a great mix of matches. Maybe too many tag matches for my liking. I like tag matches, but I think there was a little bit too many in a row, which was a little gripe I think several people had. But in terms of what they did right last night, I thought the wrestling itself was top notch, as you'd expect with all these guys. I thought the Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes match was probably the standout match. Had a lot of motion, had a lot of history, had a lot of backstory to it, and I liked that it got violent and it got bloody, and it was a change from the WWE's very PG centered tone. I think AEW needs to push that. They need to continue and be more violent, be more mature. They don't have to go in and do all the stupid crap that WCW and WWE did in the Attitude Era, where they be extremely crude and stuff. But I think a little bit of cursing here and there, violent matches, stuff like that makes them different and makes them a more mature wrestling show for people to watch. I like that there was plenty of surprises throughout. As somebody who watched the Monday Night Wars, seeing guys like Bret Hart, DDP, you have Billy Gunn, you have Tommy Dreamer, all these guys just add a little bit of nostalgia to it, which is always a good thing when done right. I like that there wasn't a lot of talking through it. There was little bits to add to the occasion. I like the Bret Hart segment. I thought it was one of the few non-wrestling parts, and it really worked quite well. The crowd was top notch and really added to all the matches. And you know, if you have a dead crowd, then as anybody knows, when you're watching wrestling, it can kill it and just take away any of the magic that should be there. But the commentary was quite good. I think JR and his, I confess I don't know the other two guys' names, felt at the start they were a little bit trampling over each other. When you have three people on a commentary booth, that happens. But I thought they kind of got used to each other, and I don't know if that's going to be the lineup going forward, but they'll probably get more used to each other as they go. And JR, of course, adds that bit of that legit status to any wrestling show when he does the commentary. In terms of stuff they need to change, or well, this is just my opinion, my little preferences. Most people would have different things, and these would be way down or maybe not of any interest to other people. But I think they need to push the mature thing. I think they need to have, it doesn't need to turn into ECW, but a hardcore match of matches that sprawl through the crowd and backstage. You know, I don't think they don't need to go into the ECW, CCW, you know, thumbtacks and stapling people's heads, even though there was a little bit of that last night. But I think a little bit of hardcore wrestling can really add a bit of variety to a promotion. I think it would do no harm, because you've got tag team matches, you've got women's matches, you've got light cruiserweight matches already. I think a little hardcore can do no harm, and I know some people don't like it, and some people think it's overdone and can ruin pay-per-views and shows, but I think a little bit of it would certainly, I'd certainly like it anyway. Surprise appearances, the appearance at the end of the pay-per-view with Dean Ambrose got headlines. I think they need to do more of that. I know they can't keep adding wrestlers every single show, but what WCW did a way back, which was pretty cool, was people appearing that you would never expect to see, and that sort of stuff will garner attention as long as it's the right people and you're not bringing in people that shouldn't be there. But stuff like that will get attention, and I think they need more of that as they go forward. I think they need to be, along with being mature, I think they need to be lots of more surprises, be a little bit chaotic, just have things happening that you never expect to see. And I suppose when they go to weekly television, that's what they're going to have to do, is keep people's attentions. And, you know, talking segments are of course going to be good, are necessary to push on storylines, but you don't want to do what WWE does, where they start every show with 30 or 40 minutes of just yapping and attempts at humor and storylines that, you know, they're trying to pad out a 3-hour show. Thankfully, I don't think AEW's weekly shows are going to be that long. I think 2 hours. I think an hour and a half would be plenty, but as it is. And again, I don't think they need to do the too much silly kind of campy stuff. A little bit of it last night in the Battle Royale, but I think they need to, you know, keep that to a minimum. I know a lot of wrestling organizations do the comedy type wrestling, and a little bit of that's okay, but you don't want to overdo it, because it, you know, the rest of your show might get tarnished if people don't take any of it seriously then. So after the show last night, I thought it was terrific. I thought terrific matches, lots of different styles, wrestlers I didn't know, wrestlers I kind of knew, and wrestlers I really did know. The emotion at the end of the Dustin and Cody match was terrific, and if they can keep delivering that level of performances and that level of emotion, you know, the WWE's in big trouble. Can they compete with WWE? I don't know. WWE has got such a grip on the world at the moment of wrestling that, you know, even people that don't like it still watch it. So they've got that stance, and, you know, AEW shouldn't try to appease younger kids. They should try and go for the older crowd, push it more mature, and, you know, be different than WWE and do their own thing. But it's going to be fun. I think if it's going to be like Double or Nothing going forward, the AEW could be really cool. What did you think of the show? What would you like to see change, and what did you like about the show last night? Thank you.